I love that.
Brain Candy Podcast, episode 854.
Here's what's going to happen. I have no control of the Rasta horn at all.
Yeah.
I just get excited when you use it. You are going to use it, and then you're going to inevitably get annoyed with me for the Rasta horn being overused. And then it's going to get taken away.
I'm doing it.
I know. I could already see this happening. You're going to be enough with the Rasta horn.
I'll try to use it only on special occasions.
Yeah. Well, I want you to use it on all occasions. I just don't want you to get burnt out of the Rasta horn.
Welcome to the show, everyone. 854 Brain Candy. October, spooky season.
It is spooky season. I'm so excited about our book club, our very spooky book club, and more. Yeah, what do I want to be this year?
I know it's a whole thing. I get my spreadsheet out.
We do need a spreadsheet.
I have one.
Yeah. What is your family What is your family tossing around?
Okay.
I gotta start
you're
planning,
gonna be
Suze.
here.
I'm going to be here there.
Yeah. So my friend Kelly suggested, and I think this is a winner, so that it includes me, you, and Adam, and even Lincoln, frankly, Three's Company.
Oh.
And Mr. Roper. We can rope him in.
Yes.
And that would be a hoot.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I do like the 70s get up, and I do like something that you can like craft together with stuff that you could find at the Goodwill or
in the Halloween bin.
In the old Halloween
bin.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What do you think? What do you want to
some things I've been knocking around, tossing around. Cher from Clueless.
Oh,
because
I love
I've got the long blonde hair now.
Love it.
And I think that whole speech that she gives about partying with the Haitians is so funny.
Yeah. Okay.
It does not say RSVP on the Statue of Liberty. And so I could see that. That's very funny.
This is great. I love it.
Or super simple is Louise from Bob's Burgers, which is just a pink bunny hat and a green dress.
That'd be cute.
And I love that. And I could just, I kind of am her. I would, and here's the other thing that I would get for that. I mean, I would have to get it. I would carry it on just for the joke. But she rides around on like a three-wheeler, but one of those, remember the old school ones that you could like peel out in? That... Like one of those, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
those like big wheels.
I love a big wheel. Mm-hmm.
And she has one of those. And like, how fun would it be to like
do
trick or treating in a big wheel?
I guarantee. Well, we're going to be at my mom's house because that's where Lincoln trick or treats,
and
she definitely has big wheels because she has those kids.
Oh, that's it, done deal, perfect. That's where I'm at least bringing it for the photo op because that was great.
We're going to have a lot of costumes. We're not limited to just
many
one.
costumes. And, just like some witchy thing probably thrown in there somewhere. You got to
Is your house spooky yet, though?
It is not.
Sarah.
I know. All my spooky stuff is at my friend Ashley's house where I used to like keep my stuff for storage because I was like, oh, I'll just get that when spooky season rolls around. And I always like to say October 1st is when I bust it out. And so, it's getting there, like already passed, I know. But I'm
because we are recording this October 1st, so we're ahead of schedule.
I should get it. I mean, what am I waiting? And plus, I'm going to come see you, and then I'm going to like miss. It's going to be over and done before I know it.
It's go time, sister.
It's go time. That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Anyways,
maybe there's a costume that can incorporate your finger problem. I don't know what that would be, but it would make me laugh.
It would. Like, I can do like a Star Trek or like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle situation.
Sarah, that's so sad.
Like that is it. But
that would just be sad. We're working on it, people. Don't worry. We won't disappoint.
It's fine. I could be. It would be funny to just be like a skater that had an accident. I wouldn't have to buy anything. I've got crutches. I've got you, and I could just get creative with like the makeup, and I just bandage myself up.
You have all the paraphernalia.
I just go as like
a wounded Tony Hawk.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. Yeah, it is cool.
Okay. I have so many random stories to talk about. I feel like I have to start with this because this is like one where it's just like a small little story, but it'll just keep getting pushed and then it'll be old news before you know it.
Yeah.
Did you see the Bridgerton pop-up in Detroit?
Yeah.
That
It was like the Wonka scam.
oh my gosh. I think it was worse.
Why?
I just do. Like, they had a dancer, and the dancer was
Exotic.
a pole dancer,
if you know
right?
what
Pole.
Yeah, right.
That's
of the
word
pole variety.
of the pole type, and like in a like bikini, which did not seem
In
I mean,
Bridgerton.
on
It didn't scream
theme.
Victorian-era.
No. Like
Right.
for an era that is all about layers and petticoats and
Innuendo.
right, leaving things to the imagination. I don't know how that mistake happened and how people think that. I was just cracking up to myself as I was looking at these photos because these guys probably charged, I would imagine, like $30-something, probably.
I thought more.
Oh, maybe more. Maybe
Yeah.
more for this
Because
whole
you know when you go to like one of these museums, quote unquote, where you just like really take pictures for Instagram
Yeah.
and it's fun.
Yeah.
Those are kind of pricey. Like
I've been to
$150.
some of the experiences.
Yeah.
And the experiences are, because I went to been to like two. Like what the hell was it?
Well, we went to one in San Francisco, me and you.
Yes, that one was an actual.
They called it a museum. But
Yeah. So I feel like there are different categories. There's the seasonal pop-up that's like usually themed, like it's like a spin-off of something that I'm like, I don't even know how they have the rights to do it.
Oh,
kind
like
of
a
thing.
Van Gogh
Or it's
immersion or
like,
something.
Like, no, I mean like the Beetlejuice one or
Oh,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
Wonka experience.
Totally.
Where you're like, how did
Wait
you
a
even
minute.
get, like, this isn't sanctioned, like put on by anything that's associated or affiliated with this.
Yeah.
Then you have the interactive art museum that's like, or like gallery
Big.
space that's like what you and I went to, like the Color Factory, the Museum of Ice Cream, those that are like interactive museums, fun. It's almost like an installation piece where you're walking through a building, but it's been curated. It's done by a team. It's done by artists. You're definitely getting the. And the reason why you're going is because it's been all over Instagram. This one is like a company selling you on the idea or the concept of this, and then it's like gone in a month and a thing. And I have yet to see one done well. The one that I went to was a joke with, I told you it was like a scavenger hunt, but the most obvious one you've ever seen. And then you had to go to these different stations, like when you found.
You did not tell me about
Oh, did I
this.
not tell you about
No.
this? Oh my
Was
God.
this
I thought I talked to
recently?
you. This was last Halloween.
No,
It was,
no,
it
I
was a
just knew
Tim
about
Burton.
the.
I think it was
yes.
a Tim Burton one.
You told me about that, but I just knew about the drinks and like it was like no good.
And then they had like these games. It was like trivia, but it was terrible. I mean, I could have run every time somebody does trivia. I'm like, oh God, I should let me do
yeah,
this.
you're
I
like,
got
this isn't trivia. This is trivial.
Yes, it was terrible. And then they after trivia was this. They called it a scavenger hunt, but we're in one big
no,
room.
this
So
is
how
terrible.
hard
This
can
is so
and
bad.
everybody's going to all the same places, so it's a joke. And then when they would have like this little card with the question on it, and then you'd go to this area that was in the clue, and then get a stamp. Like that area, you'd find a little stamp there. But all the stamps were cheap as shit and they were all dried out. So when you went to go stamp the card, nothing came up. You couldn't even see that there was a stamp. And then you were supposed to trade the card in for your prize at the end, which was like a Jolly Rancher, something stupid.
I'll tell you what's not stupid,
What?
and that is friggin' using Lola V to make your locks amazing.
Do you see mine? I mean,
I'm mad about it, actually.
I am so happy with my hair. And the longer it gets, the more grateful I am for the glossing detangler.
Yeah, that's come in handy for me too. Because it is, once it gets longer, that's a real problem.
Yeah, it gets so tangly. And I feel like that has been one of the things that's helped me keep my hair great is using quality products and being gentle on my hair. And I love their detangling brush that helps me do that
the wet
too.
brush, yes.
So between the glossing detangling spray and the dry wet brush, I'm taking good care of my hair. Yes.
Yeah, and they have the proprietary B Pro 3 Bond technology, which sounds pretty freaking James Bondy, if you ask me. And it works magic in the same way. It's just like making your hair stronger and able to handle life, and then it grows and doesn't break.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what we all want. That's what we're trying to do. But really, I mean, I would buy it just for the smell.
And I would buy it just for the packaging.
It's so chic. It's such a high quality product. And it's Jen Aniston approved. Unlock Jen Aniston approved hair at lolabee.com. As our loyal listeners, you'll get an exclusive 15% off your entire order when you use code BRAIN15 at checkout. That's 15% off your order at LOLAVIE.com with promo code BRAIN15. Please note you can only use one promo code per order, and discounts can't be combined. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show. Tell them we sent you. Your hair will thank you. For me, the shampoo is the number one product.
Oh.
That's like, because it's so good. I love it.
I love the Reconstructor and the glossing detangling spray.
You can't lose, though.
Right. Anyways, so I wanted to talk about that. Check. Also wanted to talk about, we've talked recently about art getting destroyed.
Yeah.
And there is an artist named Ai Weiwei. He is a porcelain sculptor. He makes these amazing pieces out of porcelain. And he created this piece that is a 3-dimensional cube, but just like the frame of a cube, like the outline of a cube. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's hollow.
Hollow, yes.
Yeah.
And it almost looks like PVC pipes connected together, but it's made out of this beautiful blue and white, that famous Japanese porcelain, blue and white porcelain.
Yeah.
Some fucking asshole destroyed the whole piece.
At a museum?
And it's huge. It's like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 feet tall, square, like 4 feet by 4 feet. Huge, this thing, and it took him over a year to build. The painstaking work that went into this, and it is all on video. He just comes over and pushes this thing, and he claims, the guy who destroyed it claims that he is a like performance artist as well. I hate it. They escorted him out in handcuffs, and it didn't say how much time he got or what happened afterwards. But I don't know. There's something about art that's like, when I know the creator, and I don't know him personally, but like when you can interview the person who made it, and that gets destroyed, and like the work that goes into it, and then like those, like the Lions, the person who took their fucking off-road vehicle and destroyed the ancient Aztec lions in the sand.
Sarah's glitching.
It's like, what are you doing?
For real.
I can't. This is the stuff I lose sleep over.
Okay, who do you hate more? The off-road ignorant a-holes or the performance artists? Because I hate the performance artists more.
I do hate the performance artists more.
Because they are the sociopaths of the art world.
Yes.
And they actually think that what they're doing is somehow noble and like artsy and cool. These off-roaders
and of course
fucking...
he's a white guy and an awful, like, you know.
Right.
Like that. And this is like a person of color, like an Asian man who's like,
if you're a white performance artist, man, go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
I hate you with all of my heart.
Yeah.
And the off-roaders, I hate them too.
Yeah.
But they are people who probably have never cracked a book open. You know what I mean? They're just fucking idiots. What do you... Oh, I mean those specific
I know
off-roaders.
exactly who you're talking about. It's a totally different type.
The moron ones.
Yes.
That are
it's
just
the
like
Baja
flying the
Racing
Confederate
Club who's
flag. Yeah.
and they're so loud. They are the same guys, and they are guys who are bringing.
Did you say Baja Classic?
Yeah.
What is that?
Like the it's like a race. That's
Sounds great.
It's like it's like a race, a car race, like an off-road race that
where they all get together
do, and over many miles in like off-road.
Don't talk about books. Okay.
Yeah, right. Wait, what was I going to say about that? They're all off-roading guys who...
You were like, those guys are like a different type.
Oh, they're the ones who bring the speaker to the ski slope or to the hiking trail and have the music, and they've got it strapped on their backpack, and everybody on the fucking trail is subjected to their goddamn music. I hate this guy.
I hate them. I just read this article about main character syndrome.
What a good article.
It's these people that like think that they're like the main character of this movie we call life, and that we're just sort of like the same as set.
Oh my God.
Or, just like we're just there to facilitate their life. And so when they play that music, do you identify them as that and then think I'm hot
Susie,
for that?
I think it's got to be the other way. I think it's that they're main characters, so main characters are always looking for people who are going to like
willingly be
shine
supporting
their mirror
characters
and be their supporting characters, and that's what I like to do. And then I am resentful that I am a supporting cast member in my own life.
Well, especially because they inevitably are more boring and pathetic than you. And so you probably notice that.
Yeah, this is.
I'll tell you what's a main character in my life, and that is freaking Green Chef meals.
Oh my gosh.
I could eat these every day, and I practically do. I love them so much.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of competition in the meal delivery space, but I cannot tell you enough good things about Green Chef, how delicious it is, how much I love the ingredients and the recipes and the variety and the flexibility. The food,
all of the above.
I mean, yeah. I really, it's like, it sounds
you
made
actually
up.
checked all my favorite. I was like, oh yeah, that is what I love
those are
about
all
it.
good things.
Flexibility
I enjoy cooking, but I do not enjoy like meal planning and going to the grocery store and stuff.
I don't. And when you're a single person,
yeah.
I read this whole thing about how I should have saved it for this exact moment. It was in a big newspaper about a write-up on how meal kits, these meal kits are saving so much in food waste.
Yes.
And it's a big benefit to be doing this, especially if you are somebody who's cooking just for one. Like, this is the way to go. And I was like, oh, thank God. Because usually you do this thing and then you learn like, oh, actually, it's like not as...
Yeah.
Nope, this is great news.
This is great news.
And, I love the Mediterranean diet. That is what I stick to. So I don't have to do anything. I just say, give me the Mediterranean diet. And then I don't even pick the meals.
And
I
they're
just
so
let
good.
them send them to me.
You can pick them if you want, or you can just like let the chips fall.
Yeah, and they're always good.
They're always good. You can't lose. And they have a deal. The deal is go to greenchef.com/braincandy50. Use code braincandy50 for 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next 2 months. That's code braincandy50 at greenchef.com/braincandy50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next 2 months. Can't tell you how much I love them. They're great.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so the off-roaders and the fucking art losers.
Yeah, so I think I'm with you that I hate the guy who pushed it over more. Like when I saw the video and I just imagine the hours spent creating that and the pride that he took in.
Well, has he said how he feels? Like, is he upset? Sometimes artists are really cool. Like, where they'll be like,
he was devastated.
Oh, he was. Oh,
yeah.
I would be too.
He mentioned how long it took, that it took over a year. And that was like, oh my God. And when you see it, it's so intricate. Like this isn't, he just doesn't feel like we're attacking the right thing. Like, what are you doing? This is an artist.
Yeah, and since when does performance art include pain and destruction?
Right. That's not
Of someone else.
Could you imagine? Oh yeah, no,
That's
you
not how
don't
it
get
is.
to hurt
Without consent.
yeah.
Okay.
That's not cool with
That
me.
makes me mad.
It made me mad too. And I'm going to show you, because now you have to.
Now
you
I'm
have to,
invested.
yeah. Now you have to be on this ride with me. Oh God. Here was the beautiful piece. And
Oh
that's
my God.
the
Ew,
asshole guy.
That looks like the asshole.
And look at how
It's so
gorgeous. Isn't it beautiful, Suze? And look at how
Oh my gosh, the artist is old too.
This old Japanese guy that look, and then you just see him, the video, push it over like that.
That's
I was
sad.
sick. I was sick.
That's
And then
way
he
worse
did this.
than I even
Put
thought.
his hands in the air like a triumphant gesture afterwards.
These are sociopaths for sure.
Can you believe that?
That is disgusting.
The video, it makes me like sick to my stomach to watch.
You should death penalty.
Yeah, I'm so mad at it.
Yeah, I hear
It's
you.
the same way I feel when I think about the about Machu Picchu and the Inca Trail and the people who hike on that, and how I think it should be shut down. And it was just disgusting how people treated that, and humans. Anyways,
Humans are the worst people.
they really are. Okay, what else do we have to talk about? This was interesting. What do I want to talk about? This was another art piece, but one that I like and is just kind of made me think. I think it's a little bit older. I can't remember what year it's from, but this woman named Marina Abramovic did this piece called Counting Rice, where it's this participatory performance piece where people are
That's what
asked.
we call Sarah in math class.
Absolutely. Oh my God. Counting the rice. Yeah, that's very funny. Good. I like it.
Thanks.
I was like, participatory performance piece. Yeah, that's like my whole life. I was like, that not just in math class, Susie, everywhere.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Counting
So
rice.
the performance piece it's where she invites individuals to come sit in silence and meticulously count out and separate this mixed pile of rice and lentils. So it starts as this big mixed pile, and you don't know really how long it's going to take. And sometimes it could take, some people sit there for several hours, but it's this simple, repetitive task. And it was really interesting because when I was reading this piece and listening to her talk about it, it's this feeling that we all are very familiar with, or at least I felt like I was very familiar with, and this almost like surrendering to this thing, this task that's in front of you that ultimately does bring positive feelings, but you have to go through all of these other emotions to get there.
Yeah.
And it was so simple. It's so simple in its design, but I have not stopped thinking about this performance piece, this art piece, for weeks, really.
Why? Why is it in your brain?
So she talks about how it explores patience and endurance and the nature of time. And I often have this feeling when I have a task in front of me that is something I have to do, but feels like it's only in very specific times where this feeling comes up. And it's when I know I have to sit through and finish something, but I want to get it over with. I have this like itch to like get through it. And then once you get through that, there's this feeling of relief that comes that is so, and I have it every time I paint my nails. I know that sounds silly, but I get to the pinky nail and I'm just like, oh, I want to be done with this. And it's like, I'm racing to do that, but it's this feeling, and it's so, I don't know which came first, me being very in tune with all of my feelings and my emotional state in any given moment, or me being a therapist. But I feel like I notice that like slight shift and like that feeling of like discomfort, frustration, and then relief, and how it really is this like, I don't know, metaphor and
That's
plot.
for sure.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that's everything. That's comedy. That's what
yeah.
because it's tense. They're building, and then they get to the punchline and it's relief. You laugh, and that's what that is. Yeah.
I didn't even... So, okay, that makes so much sense. So here are the stages that she's highlighted in this that I think are just interesting to explore, because it's, like you said, so much of life is this.
So much of life.
So first we start out with curiosity and enthusiasm, where even participants who are just walking by, like maybe you just see it and you're interested,
like, what are
or
people
intrigued.
doing?
Yeah.
What's this about?
Oh, everybody's counting. I'll sit down and do that.
Totally.
It's just like, maybe me painting my nails.
Sarah's
I'm
optimistic.
seeing, oh, look at all these cute nails colors for fall. I'll sit down and I'm interested in that. I'll sit down and do that. We can all see how this relates to so many. I'm telling you, I've been thinking about this all week. Okay. Then there comes, once you have decided to take part in the task, there's an experience of frustration and restlessness, that repetition of any kind leads to boredom, frustration, and impatience as you question the purpose and why you even started this to begin with. Can we all not relate to that?
Yeah.
Anybody who's gone to grad school. This was like
For real.
99% of grad school and a little bit of after too. What the hell?
This is the story of my life. I'm like, I have regrets.
Then comes this surrendering, this acceptance and focus. As participants begin to accept the task, your brain then begins to refocus your attention, and it embraces the process, where you're almost like surrendering. And in that surrender is where the focus is, where you're able to pay attention. Then comes mindfulness and reflection.
Now you're in the zone.
Now you're in the zone.
Yeah.
A meditative state develops, bringing calm, clarity, and deep self-reflection.
Yeah.
From counting fucking rice and grain, separating rice and lentils. And this works every time with every person. And some people go through it at different intensities, and maybe different, like it's not the same time frame, for everybody that they work through this. But it's so universal, this feeling. And
but this is an illustration of the frailty and fragility of the human mind. Because if this formula that you just described is leveraged against us, this is what a cult is.
Oh, you're so right.
This is like, oh, you're enthusiastic. Oh, look, I want to count rice. I want to do this.
Have given me the perfect segue for
Tell
what my
me.
next story is going to be. But we're not on that yet. We're just
Oh,
like,
okay,
I'm just saying,
I
you just like, it's so good. It's like you have my notes in front of you.
Like if this formula can be leveraged to hijack the human brain in ways that the person can be manipulated and
Susie,
then
I was thinking
exploited.
this is fraternity hazing.
Absolutely. It's everything.
It's this,
It's churches, it's governments, it's everything.
And then the ultimate, the last stage is satisfaction and release. Upon completion or stopping, participants feel relief, pride, or reflection on the emotional journey.
Yeah.
And then you forget about the frustration, restlessness, all of that in the beginning.
This is parenting too.
Yeah, do you see this stupid rice? It's not stupid. It seems so surface like it seems like
silly,
counting
tedious,
rice.
silly,
When at first, but I have not stopped thinking about it. It applies to everything, and I'm just like, whenever I feel that wave of frustration coming, that is often when a lot of us dip out.
Yeah.
Where we're like, I don't like this feeling. I'm going to numb with something else.
I'm good. Yeah.
We don't push through. And
and in good situations, you're describing persistence and, fortitude.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you get that feeling, you should dip out if you're about to be exploited by a fucking cult leader or a government, whatever.
Yeah.
So it requires discernment. Should I dip out or not?
Yes.
Is this a worthy use of my time?
Yeah. Ooh.
And energy?
Yeah.
That's where I feel like a lot of people miss the mark.
Yeah. And I'm applying this to like doing my laundry. I'm not kidding.
Right. I'm getting too philosophical.
No, it's great. That's why this is for both. This is exactly why I think this was so like I can't wait to talk about this.
I want to talk about this laundry thing because you refer to this a lot. This is your bugaboo.
It's only because of this current situation I'm in with my laundry.
Like whenever your laundry gets annoying, I feel like
I am always on top of it. I have a non-operative washing machine right
happening?
now. And I had to wait till the air conditioning was fixed because I didn't want my insurance company to be like, she's faking it. Like I had to wait till one claim is done before I wait. I don't know how it works. So yeah, I have to do that, but that's like a project, and I'm like, I feel like I just finished the air conditioning project. So I'm like, check, you know how it is to have a house. You like check boxes. So I'm like, this is the next box that I have to check. And it's like,
I'm sorry.
So that's my dilemma. That's why. So I
that's your rice.
I don't want to. It is my rice. Holy shit. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, I need to get to the acceptance and focus part where I'm just like, I got to just buckle down, take it and build the and start knocking down some walls and shit. And I forget the other thing is that I've never owned a place like this, like myself, where like I can do whatever I want. Like it took me a long time to realize I could paint a wall and like whatever I wanted. And like
it is crazy.
It's like I could do whatever the fuck I want. This is my house, and like who cares? Like I put a tiny scratch with my nail. You know when you go to open a drawer and you have like long nails and the nail gets stuck on the drawer? Ugh. And I scraped all my closets are beautiful wood, and I went to go open it and my nail scraped the wood, and I was like, no, I've scratched it. I'm never going to get my deposit. Oh no, I don't need to. I'm good. I own this place. Like that was like a weird moment of like, okay, I'm a little bummed that it scratched, but maybe I can sand that out or throw some oil on it and it won't be noticeable or whatever.
Is good.
But
you deserve your own place.
Yeah. Yeah. And I want people on Instagram to stop telling me I'm poor because of my kitchen.
I'll tell you what you're rich in, and that is hair length, which I'm very jealous of.
Yes.
Thanks to Nutrafol. This is the answer. If you feel like your hair is thin.
Advertising. Both of us are.
Right. I know, because I suffered trauma. And I don't know what your deal was. You just get more and more hair.
Suze, I went my whole adult life preaching about how everybody's hair has a maximum length that it grows, and your hair has a shed. You remember I told you this?
Yes.
And I was like, my hair is just right here. Don't feel bad. This is what, and your hair follicle only has it.
Yes.
You are in control of that. I did not, yes, and
you can
extend the life of that hair follicle by taking good care of it and from helping from the inside out. I am proof my hair has not been this long since second fucking grade.
That's what we know from like the eyelash serums that people use to make them longer.
Yeah.
You can change the, what do they call that? Like the cycle of hair or whatever.
Yes.
So that then it grows longer. And that Nutrafol, this is a supplement we take to help our hair growth.
Yes.
It is amazing, and it is science-based. This isn't voodoo.
In front of the mirror the other night,
God.
I put it over and it covered up my boobies. Like
She's like Eve. Yes.
I was like, wow. I could walk around naked and be covered up.
I am mad. Although I shouldn't be because I'm benefiting too.
I just
had to start from scratch.
Thick.
Yeah, now it is. I came a long way. This is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1 million people. you get thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. Get results you can run your fingers through. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter promo code BrainCandy. Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code BrainCandy. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code BrainCandy. And of course, you can find all these codes on our website, thebraincandypodcast.com. If you forget, and search those codes, find something you like, because we got to stay on the air.
Please.
Support the show. Sarah needs a new washer.
Oh, and I do, like, because, you know, I hang out with some brainiacs in real life. Shout out to my brainiac friends. And I know you guys are using the codes because we always talk about it.
Thank you so much.
Talk about how wonderful all of our
partners,
sponsors are, because we handpick them to make sure that they are great. Okay, what else do I want to talk to you about? This is a silly one. Do you know how birds rest?
I mean, is it like people?
Nope.
Then no.
I don't know. Can you rest while you fly?
No.
Can you sleep while flying? Nope. Can't even fly. So,
yeah.
Nope. I did not know this, but there are some birds out there, especially birds that spend long periods of time never touching ground. Like the albatross. It is freaking wild. There was a Planet Earth that came out a little bit ago. I think it was a Planet Earth or something like that. One of those animal-y
David Attenborough
narrated ones that was talking about. I think it was an albatross or a condor. Both of the. I think it was an albatross, and it was like the little baby getting ready to fly and like gearing up to fly. And it said like once he takes off, they do not touch land for like 2 years.
Yes,
it's like insane.
Yes.
So how are you going to sleep?
I learned about this phenomenon from my weird ass viewing of Johnny Carson Tonight Show clips. He watched something like you're describing, a nature documentary, and it taught him about this bird that he referred to as the swit.
Oh, yeah.
Is that listed?
Yes, that's
I don't
one
know.
of them. Swit, and then, it's swifts.
Swift.
Yeah,
Okay.
SWIFTs, swifts and frigate birds. Both of those are the other ones who do that.
And he was saying what you're describing. They fly for a year or more without sleeping or stopping.
Right.
And all of the food and even like mating and sleeping happens in flight. It's like the Mile High Club, but less, disgusting.
Right, and everybody's doing it. That's how, but they need to do it to survive. So what maybe Johnny Carson didn't know that I will tell you is they do sleep, but they enter this specific kind of sleep called unihemispheric slow wave sleep, or USWS. And what happens is 1/2 of the brain sleeps.
Oh, yeah.
While the other half is engaged in all of the things that the bird needs to stay alive. So it's like all the functions, survival stuff that, and they're just
What's
coasting.
the point, though? Like, why do you think that's what?
Oh, this has got to be
because they're flying over water.
Oh, what do you mean? What the point of
like
what?
Why
of the unihemispheric
is that
sleep?
Something that evolved in these birds? Like, why wouldn't you just stay over land?
That is what a fun question to ponder. That I feel like, what's his name? Charles Darwin would just love you at his dinner table with that.
Well,
and
I
think that you're right. I think that is it. That it's got to be because the ones like albatross, those are birds that are in Australia. They're and they're seabirds that are flying.
They are the largest flying seabird.
So I think maybe what if it was like one albatross that got lost? It was like, oh fuck, I don't know where to. I don't know.
Really good at it.
Where did home go? And then he just met up with another lost bird, and they were just like, oh,
just shut off half your brain. You're fine.
Yeah.
You think
that's like the evolution of it? But who knows?
It's just such a weird trait.
But we have to change our idea of sleeping, because we're doing that thing where we're applying the human, like the person experience. It's like personification, sort of, like, or anthropomorphizing in a way, but not really. But these are not like long sleeps. You know, the human, we need these long REM cycles. Our brain does not shut off halfway like that. So these times where they're doing this USWS sleeping is only a few seconds.
Why?
I don't know. It's just they just take these short
How
little naps.
frequently? Like once every
I actually don't know. That didn't say.
I mean, that is nuts. So it's like the equivalent of when an airplane goes on autopilot or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good way to think of it, because the funny thing is like they must be hooking up these birdies to little teeny tiny brain electrodes and stuff, because they're measuring this stuff, and they are able to determine, or I don't know how they check for birds, because you can't do like an assessment, a verbal assessment afterwards, that the studies show that sleeping in flight is not as restful as sleeping on solid surfaces, and that birds prefer to land and rest when possible.
But they do.
Yeah, of course. And I didn't know this, but birds who do rest, and when they rest on land, they have a locking mechanism in their feet, in their legs, that keeps them from falling off the branch.
No.
So they fall asleep, and it's like their brain. You know how when we go to sleep, we have, like, basically our body shuts off so that we're not like acting out our dreams. There's some part of our brain that just like turns off. Well, this, instead of like shutting off, it's like a locking mechanism that comes on that just locks their legs stiff so they can grip onto the branch and they don't fall off while they sleep.
If they enjoy resting on land and taking a breather, why do you think they go for years? This makes no sense. Sarah's got a theory. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I mean, there
They're
always
like self-sabotagers.
There always is like I think a lot of it, most of it usually has to do with like breeding or
migration or something.
Yeah, migration and yes, which is essentially like returning to the place. That's it. It's like there's something.
They're on a mission.
Whatever it is, and we just aren't aware of it. Yeah, it's kind of like eels. Have you heard about eels and how nobody knows that every eel comes from one place, and nobody's ever seen eels like birth in captivity? It's fucking weird.
You told me this one time, and I think I blocked it out because I'm upset by it.
When you do a deep dive, pun intended, into eels, it will blow your mind, because nobody knows what the fuck is going on with them.
Tell me, though. You have to tell me.
I have this written down, but not enough of I'm still like gathering collecting information.
No scholar has observed how they're banging or whatever.
But they're all coming from this one. It's like the something sea, the I want to say sargasm, but that's not the right word. That's something else. But it's like the something sea. And I can do like a quick Google of where do all eels come from, and it'll tell me. The Sargasso Sea. I was fucking close.
That is close.
Sargasso. I was like one letter off. Sargasso Sea. It's located in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Adult eels migrate from Europe, North America, and North Africa to the Sargasso Sea to spawn and die. Young eels called larvae float on the North Atlantic Drift and travel to Europe. We don't really know. We just know they come from there, but it's the only place on Earth where they breed.
It's very weird and mysterious, and scholars are like, we don't understand how they keep populating because we've never seen them banging.
Right.
And isn't there some weird thing about land? Yeah. And they like bury themselves?
Yeah. That they go, there's a bunch of, and you can Google this. It's like everybody's like, we actually don't know where they know. And the craziest thing is the Sargasso Sea is inside the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh my God. Are you telling me they all came from there?
Yes. They all came like the origins of everyone that is alive now spawns there, starts there. They may end up in another fucking ocean, but that is the only place where they are bred.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
It's
What?
like those eels in Little Mermaid?
Yeah.
They were nothing but trouble, and they
Nothing
were
but
preventing
trouble.
Ariel from getting her
Jepsum and
groove on.
Flopsum.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I feel like they are sneaky bastards.
And they do that undulating movement that we don't like. That seems like it totally seems demonic and like
demonic
because
is such a good word.
We don't know where they come from. They just spawn out of I mean, we do, but like sort of don't. They just spawn out of nowhere, and they have evil vibes. It's very snake-like and very no.
Yeah, it's biblical.
Not for me.
It's biblical.
No,
it's
thank
not
you.
Good. Okay, well, thanks for creeping us out.
But also informing you, remember birds?
Let's move on.
Okay. I have to end with this because I hinted at this. You were talking about the cult thing, about how you were talking about cults and how that is how, like, the rice thing and how
Yes.
we can use that.
Yeah, the frailty of the human mind can be exploited for sure.
I had never heard about this ever. I'm sure you have because, hello, this is what you do.
No, I mean,
Do you know about cargo cults?
No,
Okay. Susie?
I do not.
This
Cargo
will blow your
cults.
mind. Okay. So cargo cults are seen often in places that are very uncontacted. These are cults that have developed when Westerners came to remote islands. Most of this took place, or like really the boom of these cargo cults happened with American soldiers during World War II. And these islanders began associating Western goods and technologies that came over with divine or supernatural sources.
no.
And the followers then built whole, like, belief systems around
Who did?
these followers, and there are groups of them. There are a few different ones. There's one that called the John Frum cargo cult that originated in the Tanna Islands in Vanuatu. I believe that's how you say that.
Okay.
And they believe that this mystical figure named John Frum would bring material wealth and cargo. And this maybe was that one time someone came over in a boat with goods.
Yeah.
And
if you
then,
don't have enough context, do you think
Right.
this is miraculous?
yes, with
Oh,
no, totally cut off
Yeah,
from
I get it.
everybody else. And then, like, they would build an entire, like, civilization, a belief system around
Yeah,
the return of these, like, gods that they believe them to be, where the John Frum cargo cult built symbolic airstrips and imitated military drills to attract cargo because they wanted the cargo. They believed that, right? And then they were believing that there was going to be a return to traditional customs and a rejection of Western influence, like with the that he would come and it would be like this merging of, like, everything coming together.
Oh my God.
And this is not the only one. There were, I believe there were 500 members at one point. Now in one, there's about 50 in this John Frum cargo cult that still exists. There was also a
God.
prince.
The
There was
words
a prince.
cargo cult.
Susie,
Oh,
I'm gonna,
God.
and they have created an.
Where did you?
I'm gonna find where I found it.
I'm sorry. You said they believe. I shouldn't have interrupted. I should never interrupt an ADHDer.
So,
Because I did want to know what you were saying.
Look at. They sing. This is them singing.
Oh my God, it's so sad.
Singing to John Frum to return. Like,
That makes me
And-
sad, man.
so, and there are many of the, well, not many, but there are a few of these that have developed. There's another one called the Prince Philip movement that's in the same island area, and this sect believes that Prince Philip is a divine figure, and they viewed him as a spiritual figure who left the island and would return with blessings. In Papua New Guinea, there's the cult of the airplane. Villagers believed that planes brought by gods would deliver cargo, and they built airstrips hoping to attract more planes with goods. Then there's the Lolai cargo cult of Papua New Guinea, where followers built these airstrips and makeshift planes to attract divine cargo again, and they imitated Western military behavior in an effort to summon wealth. And I had never even heard of this. And there are multiple. And it just says, it plays into like that, like just the fragility of the human mind and being cut off. And these people have developed an entire religion around World War II soldiers that came,
of course,
to their island.
They were a salvation.
Looked different, had different technology. Could you imagine like that? It's just fascinating.
Okay. I mean, I don't identify. Everything. No, I can't, but I do know that I don't identify as like a traditional Christian, but I do identify as a follower of Jesus. Mm-hmm. And the reason is because his message was like, it was sort of like the opposite of what you're describing. He wasn't bringing anything great. Mm-hmm. He was saying like, take up your cross and follow me. And taking up your cross meant loving your neighbor as yourself. That is not appealing. That sounds awful. My neighbor fucking sucks. Right. And I do not want to love them as much as I love myself, right? Yeah. That is not a good message, PR-wise.
Right. That's why I love Judaism, because they're like, yeah, we don't really want you.
You like any,
I'm like, but take me.
Any religion that's like hard.
Right.
Like if the thing is hard, that is more appealing to me because that feels more authentic than I'm bringing you gifts here.
Right.
Isn't this great?
It feels like the prosperity gospel, evangelical, like kind of that, where you're just going to come in and this is the solution and in a way, like the easy way out. Like that is exactly the opposite of what Jesus.
Yeah. Like if it sounds too good to be true, then you should really interrogate it.
Yeah.
And so like it bums me out that like the desperation, apparent desperation of these peoples has resulted in like this misguided belief.
Yeah. And imagine if you came over with just modern medicine, you would be believed to be, you're curing them, you know? Oh, they just gave me this, I drank this drink, and I was cured of what it was. So it's definitely I would believe that they were gods.
And it's very hard to undo this stuff. I was just watching, I think it may have been like an archival video, but it was from like a 60 Minutes thing about, in Africa where some communities still do the female genital mutilation. Mm-hmm. And like, in some areas it's been outlawed, but that people are really upset because they believe that it is, this spiritual necessary thing to prevent your daughters from becoming evil and like sex crazed loons. So there's this lady that keeps doing them anyway. And like, she's seen as this like cult hero because she is maintaining this ritual that they see as fundamental and helpful, and it just like makes you crazy.
Right. That's where that is why education is so important.
That's why I'm like, please bring the books. Just bring the books.
Yes, that is it, because you have to educate people on everything. It's it.
You have to teach people how to be.
That is where these beliefs come from. They come from a desire to make sense of the world that we're in. Mm-hmm. And creating order in a very chaotic space.
Yeah.
And now that we have tools to better explain the chaos and look, use our magnifying glasses to really zoom in on that, what looks like chaos, and we can see the order in it and thing, like, we don't need those belief systems as much, because we have the
the framework that they are
answers.
Providing is no longer useful.
Right.
But
And then they try to make it, and it's like, oh. So
it sounds so arrogant to be like, we know better. I don't like that either.
Oh, because we don't. I know, if I know anything, I said this a few episodes ago when we were reading The Feather Thief, that we don't know fucking shit about fuck.
Right.
We think we do. And so has every previous generation, and we know how much they knew, not much. So I can't wait for the things that our grandchildren's grandchildren will be like, oh my God, can you believe they were doing that? The first one is going to be, can you believe they actually let humans drive automobiles? I think it's going to be so funny in the future, where they're going to be like, you guys were ramming them into each other at top speeds. You guys were not to be trusted with those things. It is insane that we are all essentially commanding our own tanks down the road.
Tanks. I know what you mean. There's that new ride share, but it's like no driver. It's called like...
It's insane.
What? It has a name that's funny, like Waymo or something.
Yeah.
Is it Waymo?
I think you might be right. It's something like that. That's yes, it's something that is as close as I'll ever come to getting it.
Before we go, I know we got to go.
Oh.
I keep meaning to just like get your take on something.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know if you had heard about that French trial where the woman...
If you're ever fucking wondering why we pick the bear, that's why.
Sarah, we have to talk about it.
Dude, let's talk about it.
Okay. So if you're not familiar with what we're talking about on a podcast where words are required and we're using none.
Then we're using none.
There was a woman who, for 10 years of her life, was experiencing blackouts that were so severe that she thought that she had dementia. And her children were convinced that she had either dementia or some sort of neurological or brain disorder. And then it turned out, after police uncovered the truth, that her husband, who she loved very much and was married to for like freaking 60 years or something crazy, was drugging her and then allowing people to come over and rape her.
Like 100, like 70 something men. And that this was posted and that all these men responded, and that in all of that, nobody ever reported it. That would never happen with 70 women. 70 women would not get together to...
And it's not because we can't keep a secret. We can.
Yeah, it's not because of that.
It's because we have moral compasses.
Right. Could you even... I can't... She is so strong and so brave and doing so much.
She is my hero.
It is unbelievable. And
that she was entitled, according to French law, anonymity.
Yes.
Anonymity. Thank you. And she chose instead to...
I love that.
Testify.
I love it.
She was so strong. And this was a man she loved. This wasn't just some sort of marriage where they were just like cohabitating. She loved him and thought they had a good relationship. And she claims they had a healthy sex life and all of this stuff.
I'm sure he was really excited about I'm sure that he had a great one. And then,
Okay.
My God.
Okay. So anyway, they found all this evidence that he was doing this. They put him on trial. Of course he's convicted.
The way
He
that they
admitted it.
found him was interesting, though.
Okay, so the guy had these photographs and I think videos
Yes.
of the
20,000 pictures and videos.
Yeah,
on
but
his
how did they
computer.
know? How did they discover them?
There was something that, and it like,
Oh, he was accused of something else.
yes, it was
Yeah.
like he was. Oh, I want to say it was like exposing himself.
He was taking
doing-
pictures upskirting.
That's it. He was
Yes.
taking up. Yes, that's it. I was like, they caught him for something else.
He was the upskirt guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they caught him doing that, and because of that, they looked at his computer, and then they found all of the images of her drugged and asleep, and all the other men. And it was not, there are 51 of them involved in the case. That is just the ones who are involved and named, not the number of actual people who did it.
Yeah.
What the actual fuck? He should get.
And he
that
doesn't
worse
deny
than
it.
life.
And he, all the guys are like, "What? No, he told us like she was fine with it."
Oh,
and then when he
liars.
went on the stand, he said they did not think she was fine with it. He ratted all them out.
Yeah, and he, of course,
Yeah, and he
we all
admitted
knew that. I didn't need him to rat them out to fucking know that.
Me neither. But he acknowledged nobody doing this thought this was okay.
That's sick.
And then, did you read about how they found a couple of pictures of his daughter?
I know.
And
that's when I bowed out and I was like, nope, I'm good.
Yeah,
I
get
can't.
it.
I'm out.
But
I'm out.
And how she said, I am just going to have to like not think about it, basically.
Right. Yes. Of course. And you know what? She's right. That's the thing to do. And you know what? Here's the,
I know, I'm sorry.
the frustrating thing is her brain will take care of that for her.
I hope so, because
It does. It fucking does. It's too traumatic. It does. I am here to tell you that it holds it in a weird way but then it almost is, I don't want to say good because that's not the right word.
It's protective.
It's like, but the fact that she knows for sure and she doesn't like, your brain will do this thing where it knows that this happened, but it'll try to get itself to believe that it didn't happen to like protect itself from it. So that is often the thing that keeps me up at night, where it's like I have to say, nope, this happened and it's okay, and like she knows, but her brain will protect her from what it needs to. It's fucked up.
It's fucked up, and it's. I think.
I hope she has a good therapist. I wish.
I don't know why, but I feel like the thing that really got me about it is that for 10 years she questioned her own sanity and her own
definition of gaslighting.
Yeah, and where you're thinking, I have lost, hours and days of my life, and I must be. And then it turns out the one that you love, the one that's supposed to protect you,
yes,
is causing it.
Oh, God.
And how she had the wherewithal to get up on that stand and speak so directly and clearly and with such courage.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'd make her Person of the Year, Time Magazine.
I wish she didn't have to do that.
Right.
But like, round of applause, because that is a strong lady. Mm-hmm. I don't think I could do it. Mm-hmm. And all those fuckers. Mm-hmm. I have it in my notes as French atrocity.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Because I keep meaning to say, like, Sarah, can you believe?
I think it highlights so many different things that are like
what?
Like,
Tell
just
me.
that it seems insane to think of this reversed.
That is so true.
Where you're going to get upwards of over 50 women who are all going to be involved in sexually assaulting a man.
Yeah.
That would never, ever, ever happen. Never.
Or sexually assaulting a woman, Sarah.
Or sexually assaulting a woman. Right.
Right?
It would never happen.
All right, Sarah, you did well. Thanks for tolerating my extension of your episode.
Oh, I'm glad. I have so many things on here.
I know, me too. I don't even need to prep for next week.
I don't either.
I know.
It's done. I've got stories on stories.
I mean, do we need an episode every day? Maybe.
Maybe. Just turn into news.
If people would like to sponsor us every day,
right.
we could do it.
Oh my God, could you imagine? That would be so much fun. Just wake up with Sarah and Susie. We did like a morning episode every day. I just moved to Pittsburgh, live in your guest house. It's great.
Bridgerton pop-up, not great.
Not great.
Brain Candy Live, great.
Will be fantastic.
Yeah.
Start collecting your candy. If you find cool brain candy themed, like inflatable, you know, the kind of stuff I'm talking about, people.
Yeah, I do.
Like, send me the links.
Send it
because I want it. I want to. Could you imagine that we have like a whole, like I tow in my new car a whole trailer full of brain candy, like set design stuff. I come alive. This is my dream. This is, I'm so happy. That's all I wanted to do is be set
you
design
guys can be a part of this.
Yes.
Counting rice can be beneficial or scary.
Yeah. But a metaphor for life.
Yes. Cargo cults blew my mind. I'm going to have to learn more about that.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, it was like up and down with us today.
Just
like good and bad. Just like real life. All right, people.
Yeah.
We love you. Please use our codes on our website, thebraincandypodcast.com. We love you. We'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.